Today we'll display some dragon gameplay. Ever since Town Hall 11, when I unlocked Invisible Spell, I play Blizzard ever since when I'm up against Center Town Hall, taking down whatever strong defense alongside with Town Hall. But I'm not gonna do that today, because if you look closely, Super Wizard couldn't reach any valuable target besides Town Hall. I could land somewhere out the outer rim, so I can take down crossbow and artillery. But it defeats the whole purpose of Blizzard. The meaning of Blizzard is to reach something that is hard to reach, whether it's in the center or somewhere heavily fortified. If you look at this base, you could easily reach crossbow and eagle artillery since they're placed on the outside. Perhaps I should reconsider my strategies. Back when I don't know how to Skelly Donut, I might just still do Blizzard Lalo. Now we have a better approach. If you're familiar with my previous attack strategies, I used to Skelly in the middle and make my way around the base. And it's easy for me to reinforce my army since I could just add more power from the outside. But I'm gonna make an exception. This time, I'm definitely going through the middle with my main up force. But how do I get easy access with reinforcement? Here's the problem when we're dealing with army going through the center. It takes about 5 seconds or more to reinforce. That means it'll be too late. That explains the risk of going through the center. There's no going back once you deploy your main force through the middle. Now, for those who think there's not much of a risk, because you have all the power, all the support with the hero ability, with the invincible from the warden, and all the spell, there should be no problem. Here's what's the problem. You got all the splash damage, the high firepower at once, targeting your army. We all been there, we all familiar with that situation. Sometimes with all you got doesn't simply cut it. Simply gets worse when you reach Town Hall 15, where there's Rage Tower. They are the exact counter for this approach. The only time I can reinforce my main force is at the back end. But still, if your main force didn't push through the center with little to none maneuver, if anything goes sideways, there's no point of reinforcement in the back end. So we gamble everything we have in the middle. You might wonder, what if I do Archer Blimp instead of Blizzard Blimp? First, at Town Hall 13, Archer Blimp isn't that strong until Town Hall 14th. Another reason I don't do archer blimp is not much of a value. I could reach multi-infernal, but that's it. 2 multi-infernal at most. There's still plenty of high value target around the base, which I cannot reach, such as crossbow. There's no way I could reach them. The base was specifically designed to up against super archer blimp, so I must push through the center with my own main force. And what does that has to do with Skelly Donut? Clan castle can easily be pulled, right? I can draw them out to the corner, but not the right corner, because it's too far. It'll take me too much time. Okay, what if I take care of the clan castle troop on the left corner with my Sui, and at the same time weakening the flank for my main force. The right flank I could deploy a flame flinger to do the job, but the ground exposed makes it difficult. What if I switch places between the two of them? The flame flinger goes on the left corner, my Sui on the right corner. Then we back to square one. I still gotta pull my CC and deal with them. Draw all the way across the map to the right side. That loses precious time for my flame flinger to delay and deploy. How about my Sui draws them right out, right where the nearest edge. What we didn't aware is the firepower, the crossfire alongside this edge. It'll make my Sui suffer unless you provide a blind spot, destroy a portion of defense before you pull out the CC. Then you'll have to invest heavily on Super Loon or E-Drag. If we strip away the side to make a narrow path, look how much of a workload for my flank troop. They have more than twice as much of tasks than my main force. They both cost me dearly, and still my main troop might wander off the side, since they have more distraction to wander off. That defeats the whole purpose of easy funneling. There's gotta be a better way. They can meet halfway, where there's easy flanking, easy funneling on the side, and plenty of target to make my main force to stick to the path. And you can see we're going in from the side, preventing air sweeper pushback. Since we're playing dragon, we want our troop to go through center as much as possible. Although we have a clear funnel on the side, but still we want to spread out the main army from below. It's a safety net, because there's no guarantee that all of them will go through the center. If we stack them up a bunch, they could either go left or right. Spread them out in case none of them going through the center. And as it progresses, the path gets narrowed, and strengthening the force, tightening the group, provides a stronger push towards the back end. The key to succeed is to have a solid funnel from the sides, but we still haven't settled on what we're gonna skelly. It should work as a synergy that helps our main force and makes our funnel troop have an easier access. Since we're pushing through the center, there's no point of scaling on the path. it defeats our purpose, and it'll be a waste of resource. Then we should do it on the side. If we knock down Infernal and Crossbow, mainly in Crossbow, because Crossbow causes trouble while we deploying Flame Flinger, right? Or we can do it on the left side, where there's Clan Castle and Crossbow placing side by side. We can take them both down, provides a better pathing. And based on the second proposal, it is obviously a better solution. The opportunity it provides. Now we don't have to draw the CC out all the way from the left to the right corner and deal with them with our heroes. And the Flame Flinger on the left can focus on its task and do a better job at funneling. This is what I like about this game. The variety of the selection is what makes this game fun. Every decision changes a whole new scene. So please tell Supercell to bring back try-hard meta and get rid of time meta. Hate that shit. Now I like to talk about Siege Machine. Why do I select Flame Flinger? And why do I chose Dragon as my main army? They go hand in hand, you see. If you like ground troop, you can use log launcher and the standard siege machine, the prototype machine, to break walls. But who's gonna do the flank? Who's gonna do the funnel? No better machine than Flame Flinger when it comes to funneling. And walls are the biggest defense for any bases. So I go with Dragon to fly over all these walls. It just makes a great combination. The whole new perspective is now that I Skelly Donut the Clan Castle, my heroes no longer gets tied down by the Flame Flinger, cause it has to protect my Flame Flinger from CC. Well, it used to be. Now they can find their own skirmish on the right corner. The idea is to not have them mixed together and overlap. That'll be a shame and a waste of resource. On the other hand, if you're doing ground troop on the main force, you wouldn't have all these perks because you have to force to use other siege machine. But there is occasion that Flame Flinger simply wouldn't work. Not in this case. Remember, it's all about the pathing, to reconstruct the whole base. With that being said, let's talk deeper about our Sui path. As usual, we do a pinch movement and make their way in. So, the color pink represents the insection to funnel our hero group. We don't want our hero to spread out and wandering off. It's important because if we fail to Sui, our main force will definitely spread out towards the right side and not strong enough to go through the back end. Here's a question. Which pink section is easier to do funnel? The top side is easier. We simply have to destroy one gold mine to make a clear direction for our hero. Ideally, we want our queen to assign to a easier funnel because she's the one who's been naughty and gets easy to wander off, and king on the bottom side. But I'm not gonna do that. Not that I'm crazy. Hear me out. bear with me. Even the bottom side is harder to funnel. My king still having a hard time to navigate. I'm only gonna do a funnel on the left side of my Sui group to reach the goal of effortlessly to do so. It's to have my dragon, my main force, and one of my hero going in simultaneously. These dragons served as their rear flank from their main group, and both of them will meet in the center, hopefully, and charge their way in. As I deploy them at the beginning, they all reach the first wall and break direction, both left and right. Now they provide each other funneling. It's easier said than done. It's highly calculated, requires years of experience to be familiar with different parts of their own progression speed. But we simply don't want both parties to cross this green line and go their separate way. Imagine you want your dragon to push faster than your heroes, but not too fast, or it will break the pack and wander off to the yellow section. Remember, you want your dragon to focus and rendezvous with their own pack towards the left side, but not the right, or the dragons will overlap with our heroes and gets annihilated by air defense. That simply defies our purpose of multitasking and divided our strength from our main force. It's really devastating when you see both ground targeted defense and air targeted defense shooting at us at the same time. So it's important to separate from the two groups. Bottom line is we don't want our heroes to wander off, because we can spare one or two dragons, but once we lost one hero to wander off, the whole plan just failed, unless you bring recall spell. With no wall breaker, dragon will left heroes behind, and heroes will keep hitting walls. Not a sight we wanna see. Back to the topic. Now we done funneling on the left side of our hero group, we can simply deploy King on the right flank since he's easier to navigate. And there we have our Sui charge. Next, let's talk about main force entry. Why did I decide from the bottom? If I start from the top, I could neutralize the artillery right from the start, but I won't do that. The reason is I'm fighting my way upwind from most of the time. That'll cost me lots of spell investment. It makes sense. I rather get hit by artillery than going upwind. Without further ado, let's see the replay.